Hey everybody, welcome back to New Little Life. If you're new here, my name is Allison Tolman. I'm a breast pump expert and a coach for working moms. We have a lot of breast pumps over here. I think there's over 100 that we have gathered over the last 5 or 6 years. We've tested a lot of them on our custom testing device and have gathered a lot of data that we share with you here on the YouTube channel. I'm also the founder of the Pumping for Working Moms program, which is a long-term coaching program designed to help career-driven women pump fast and efficiently and balance their work and their breastfeeding goals in a long-term sense. If you want more information on that program, if you want to work directly with me in that capacity, there's a link down below to apply. You can schedule a free call with my team. We'll walk you through it. But today, I really wanted to talk about some of the best breast pumps of 2025. This month in January, we've been doing a bunch of pump reviews on a lot of the most common ones that I see. Today, I just wanted to kind of share some of my more personal thoughts with you. So this video will be a little bit unscripted. You'll kind of just get to hear me talk about a bunch of different breast pumps and what I think about them. Actually, this is the perfect video to bring out my opinion minion. So this guy tends to come with me when I do speaking engagements or sometimes when I'm doing videos here. And if I want to share my opinion with you, sometimes he'll come out and just sit with me. So you know, this may not be total science. This is the mind of Allison and the opinion there. So I actually probably am just going to put him in the background of this video because this will largely be my thoughts for you today. There you go. He's here with us for the whole video. All right. So let's talk about a few categories. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of like go off the cuff here and we'll see where this goes. All right. Let's start off with some of the least expensive breast pumps. I think that'll be kind of fun. So there's no perfect breast pump for everybody, right? That's why we have so many on the market. They have different features. They have different suction patterns, cycle strengths, different price points, different functionality. They serve different purposes, all of these things. So I think when we're talking about some of the best breast pumps to establish a good supply that you know are going to work well, that are going to do a nice job, let's say under $100. Let's cap ourselves there. I think some of those for me would be actually, you know, the one that stands out the most. I actually don't have much content on this pump, but this is a Dr. Brown's pump. This, I think you can get at Walmart for $99. And this actually might be one of the most underrated pumps. It does a lot of good things, has good ranges and cycle speed suction. That is probably on my list of really good ones that are under $100. NCVI makes a couple of interesting ones as well. Get a sneak peek at the back of my office there. Is it clean back there? I don't know. But this is a nice little pump too. Sometimes you can get good deals on Amazon on little pumps like this. Sometimes they're not good. But NCVI is making some good pumps. Interesting, at least. Okay, that's all I can really see off the top of my head, at least in the under $100 category. There may be a few other ones, and I'll make sure I post any other videos down below for you. I did a video, it's been a few years, back when we lived in Europe, on the best breast pumps under $100. I had 5 on that list. I'll have to dig it up for you. I'll put it in the description if you want to check it out. Next, maybe let's talk about suction capability. So if you want a breast pump that has some of the best suction capabilities, here would be a few of my top recommendations. And for me, I'm both looking at maximum suction capabilities, but not only that, but reliability and consistency, okay? Because even some of these hospital use pumps up here, like the Platinum and the Symphony, they don't go much higher than 250 mmHg on the max capacity, okay? And there's other pumps here that go higher than that, but there's more to suction than just a lot of suction, right? So actually one of my favorites, it's actually over here. I can't believe it's not on the shelf. Give me a second. One of the ones I really love is the Spectra Synergy Gold. In fact, if I was going to be pumping, I may consider doing this. One of the big downsides is that it has to be plugged in, but the suction strength is really solid on it. It's a dual motor pump too, so you can do different pumping on both sides if you wanted to adjust either way. So one of my favorite pumps for suction strength for sure. It's actually one of the prettiest ones too, which is why it was in my normal filming background, not on the shelf. A couple other no-brainer ones for me are the Medela Symphony, really, really solid suction, and the Amita Platinum. Again, those are hospital use pumps, so the suction's just going to be good. Some other personal use pumps that I would put in awesome suction categories that I really like would be this one, Unimom Opera. Again, another dual motor pump, but really solid suction capabilities there. The Arto Alyssa actually has really good suction capabilities too. A really nice small pump. Been really impressed. It can hold single-sided and double-sided pumping suction, the same on each one. Really, really nice little pump. Obviously, we can't talk about suction without talking about the Baby Buddha, okay?
I've got another one with the trackpad, the new trackpad on the way, but this one has a roller ball, a little bit older style. But this pump is known for strong suction, right? And they just made an update on the 2.0 version of this pump. Now it also has an option for a more traditional stimulation mode and not the one that goes 10 sucks and then a crazy suck. But this pump is known for having really strong suction. It's also known for lasting a really long time. So while it is really tiny and really portable, it has to make the suction list, right? The Amita Pearl is probably another one that I would put on the good suction list. We don't really talk about that one a lot. Another dual motor pump designed for hospital use. It's a multi-user pump, so that's another interesting one as well. There are a lot of pumps that have great suction, right? Suction is like one of the main functions of a pump. So don't get me wrong, there are some other really nice options here. But if I'm thinking like high quality and good maximum suction, like consistent performance, those are probably the ones. Those are the ones I grabbed first anyway. Top of my mind. Okay, let's talk about cycle speeds. Talk about some pumps with some really good cycle speeds. So what that means for me is I tend to like to see a little bit faster cycle speeds in stimulation mode. Tends to initiate letdowns a little bit more quickly. And we're just kind of seeing a trend toward more pumps doing that anyway, especially in the wearable pump realm. I feel like every time I'm getting a new wearable pump now, I notice that their cycle speeds in stimulation mode are going up and up a little bit, which I love to see. You have the classic Spectras up here. That has been set at 70 cycles per minute for a really long time. The reason that you can get away with 70 on the Spectra is probably because the pattern on that one has a vibration style. So it actually feels like it's going a little bit faster. But we learned that too fast also isn't good either. There's a couple of pumps with really fast cycle speeds that come to mind. One is the Zomi, and they actually just made an update on the Zomi and slowed it down. They've actually slowed it down a couple times. It used to be up by like 220 cycles per minute. And this pump goes right, left, right, left. It's got an alternating suction pattern, which made it feel even faster. So they've actually lowered it. I think it's in the 130s now, something like that, which is fast. It's a really good speed now. Ooh, another one that goes really fast, which we actually haven't done much content on the channel yet, is the Limerick Joy or PJ's Comfort. Those are really similar. This is a unique pump all around. It's got a really unique flange kit. If you want more information on this pump, let me know. I don't think I've ever done a video on it or even talked about it at all, which I don't know why, but you can just turn up the cycle speed. I think there's 80 different levels that you can turn it up to. So 0 to 80, same with the vacuum strength. Vacuum strength is really respectable. No problems there. But you can turn it up. I turned it up all the way, and I think I got 404 cycles per minute, which no one is doing because it feels absolutely insane. But that pump has super fast cycle speeds, but it also goes really, really low. And you can kind of pick your poison. You can pick poison, that's terrible. You can kind of just pick what feels best to you, right? And that's nice. I do like that it has a huge range, because sometimes what we see is you get stuck with what the pump can do or what it's programmed to do. So anytime you have a ton of options like that, I tend to like it, especially because when I'm working with a client or helping someone with a pumping problem, we like to be able to test and try a few different things. If your pump just only does what it does, it makes it a little harder. Not impossible, but I like to see a lot of different setting options. These two hospital grade pumps up top have really good cycle speeds. The Arto Alyssa goes pretty fast as well, and I liked the speeds in expression mode as well. A couple of pumps that I don't like in cycle speeds. I know this video was like the best breast pumps of 2025, but one that I really hate is the Spectra Gold Compact, this little one. It goes 106, I think, in stimulation mode, which is great, nice and fast, but in expression mode, it's 26. It is so slow, and there's such a huge break between the patterns, so it'll go up and then wait and then up again. So slow, and that's all you get, so lame. I have seen a couple wearable pumps lately that are increasing their cycle speeds as well. This one is from Parafit, which comes to mind. I actually had a chat with them a couple years ago when they were making this and said, I want faster cycle speeds on a wearable pump. And they did it, which was super cool. So this one has a few different modes that you can go up on cycle speeds and get it faster if you'd like. So some cool things about that pump. The Eufy, I think, also has a little bit faster cycle speeds as well, if we're talking like wearable pumps here. Zomi Fit might be one too. I might have to double check. If you want a list of pumps and kind of the fastest to slowest cycle speeds and stimulation or expression or whatever, let me know. That might be a fun little download to be able to do. If I do end up creating that, it'll be down in the description. You can download it and see for yourself, because I know there's some that I'm missing, but those are kind of some of the ones that come to my mind And again, faster is not always better. Like I said, there's a real sweet spot. And we need good cycle speeds on stimulation mode on all the vacuum levels, ideally, not just the first vacuum level. Again, another video, I think. But we also want good options in expression mode. I want to be able to go between like 30 and 60. I want to be able to pick and choose what I want, which is kind of nice. Ooh, I thought of one more. One of my favorite little portable pumps is the Genie Advanced. If you've been on this channel before, that is not a secret. One of the reasons, though, is because you do have some cycle speed flexibility in expression mode. They've got speed 1, 2, and 3. It's kind of like slow, faster, fastest, just to give you some options to choose. I find that Spectra users who end up using this pump tend to like to pump on cycle mode 3. A little bit faster. It matches the Spectra a little bit more. But it's nice to be able to have some flexibility there. So Genie Advanced, that's a good one as well. Okay, let's talk about suction patterns, okay? I think one of my favorites still really is the Spectra 1 and Spectra 2 up here in the corner. They have that vibration style pattern, and a few other pumps have tried vibration style as well. Medela down here, this Medela pumping style Max Flow tried a vibration, but they made it really, really aggressive. It's like a shark tooth kind of thing, and it didn't work quite as well. We don't really like it. But that Spectra vibration style pattern, whatever they're doing over there, moms tend to really like that. And that's been a really valuable pump for a lot of years. Another unique one with the suction pattern is the LV. And I can't capture it on a graph because it just feels so gentle. And I don't know what they did. Put some kind of magic in here or something. But the pattern is just, up and down. It is what it is. But it feels so gentle. If you're looking for the gentlest option, you almost can't feel the suction, but it is working. This is really unique in that way. So it's still a great pump. I also tend to like pumps that give you a few options for suction patterns, different things to try, different modes. We are seeing quite a few of the wearable pumps right now kind of start putting in these mixed modes, which I think is really smart on a wearable pump just because of how it's used. Actually, I did a video recently on this Eufy pump. It's a wearable pump. They actually have 4 different patterns that you can do. And it kind of is between stimulation and expression mode. So it's not necessarily like the pattern, which I guess is what we're talking about. So maybe this doesn't apply, but I like that they gave you different options for programming, that you could go between stimulation and expression mode in different lengths and at different time intervals. That was really interesting. I think we're going to move on into the category of unique features on breast pumps, and we're just going to start with this one because this one actually has a heating element around the top here, which actually provides warmth to the breast while you're pumping, which is really, really cool. This pump also has a magnetic top here, and it comes with a charging case. The charging case has a battery, so you literally just put this in the case and it can charge. So you can charge your case and your pump, and then you can take it out and have a battery to charge your pump with on the go. It's freaking cool. They actually did some really cool technology stuff. Definitely a very cool pump. Some other unique features, the Ardo Alyssa has a power pumping setting, right? So if you want to just be able to leave the pump on, let's say you're at work, but you want to get a power pump in, you can leave it on, push the power pump mode, and then it will come on and off every, 5 or 10 minutes or whatever it's set at, and kind of help you power pump in the easiest way possible. Or even if you just take it off and set it down, the next time it turns itself on, you gotta walk back there and put it back on. So kind of an interesting setting there. Another wearable pump with a unique feature for you is the Willow 360, I think they're now calling it. This is where you can pump into the bags. This is really the only totally leak-free option for a pump that we have on the market right now. I actually did a video where I did yoga while I was pumping with this back when I was lactating with my last baby, and it did not leak. Like, it really is leak-proof. It's got constant suction, so it pulls the breast in and keeps it there instead of bringing it back down to 0 each time that it goes. So if you're using the bags with the Willow 360, as they now call it, really unique feature there. A couple of these pumps have other, unique features, especially when it comes to the flange kit. The Limerick, that pink one up top that I showed you earlier, is a very unique flange kit. Probably don't talk about that one enough, but really, really compression, kind of a one-size-fits-all flange, which is very interesting. Legendary Milk makes a duet, and the Pumpables pumps as well come with like a liquid shield or a fluid motion. Can't remember what either of them call it, but kind of a compression style flange, which I tend to find works really well for a lot of moms. They find it really comfortable, works really well for elastic nipples as well too. So that's kind of cool. A lot of pumps now are also coming with cups instead of flanges, which is not my favorite thing. The LV Stride is one of those. It just came out with a 2.0 version. They kind of made some upgrades to the cup, which I'm not sure I like it. We'll have to kind of see how users do with it. Another video on the channel down below for you, but you don't get regular flanges with this. You only get a cup, right? Another couple pumps that are doing that are the Medela Pump and Style Max Flow and the Medela Freestyle Flex. It's not my favorite thing when you only give a mom a cup to wear because cups are harder to use. They tend to be a little bit less efficient. They're harder to get the flange sizing right. There's some compression when you have them in the bra there. And this one makes zero sense to me because you still have to plug this into a wall. So yeah, your hand's free now with a cup, but just use a regular flange. It's going to be so much better, especially with this pump that is not one of my favorites. So while that is kind of a unique thing, and a lot of pumps, some pumps are doing that now where they're just coming with cups. Not my favorite thing. There's a few that I can think of. Okay, let's talk about some of the potentially most underrated pumps. Okay, maybe these pumps that don't get talked about a lot or that might be secretly really good, but they're just not popular on the market. So much of the breast pump world is dependent on marketing. Some companies that have a lot of money to devote to advertising, affiliate sales, all of these things tend to be more seen and more popular, but it doesn't always mean that they're the best breast pump. And especially when you're comparing them directly side by side like I am, if you have a pump and it's working for you, that's great. That's like really all the information you need to know. I tend to attract people that like data and are kind of info junkies, like you just like to know stuff. So welcome, join the club. So when we're comparing these side by side, that's when you start to get some really interesting things on which breast pumps may be performing better or worse than others. Potentially underrated might be the Lancino Smart Pump. I actually, in my testing, the data looks pretty good on it. So I don't know, we don't hear about it a lot. This is one that's been on my list too, the Philips Advent. I can't tell you how good or bad it is at the moment. Initial testing data looked pretty okay on it, if I remember right. And I'm seeing it more and more on DME companies or via insurance. So I'm going to explore this more and give you some more information on this. That might be an interesting option. The Ardo Alyssa is also one of my favorites. Like, I think it's potentially underrated. I don't know. I don't love the flange kit that it comes with though. So that's a thing. Willow Go is another one of my kind of go-to wearable pumps. I think definitely Willow, the 360 or the 3.0 or whatever you call it, has been around for a while. I definitely see myself recommending the Willow Go more often though. It's just easier to use, functions well. I like it. I don't know. We're seeing this Unimom Opera a little bit more frequently, and I do really like that one. This little pump from iCare that I got off Amazon, it's actually a nice little pump as well, and I've had people in our Facebook group say that they had good experiences with it as well. Again, the Limerick Joy, potentially and a really underrated pump. I don't know. Okay, you ready for this part? I'm going to tell you my favorites, and hopefully this video isn't super long at this point, but if you've made it this far in this video, I think you deserve to know, if I were to have a baby again, which pumps would I personally use? And take this with a grain of salt, okay? This is just me, okay? And everyone kind of has a different budget, has different needs. They like different things in a pump. They have different goals, okay? For me as a working mom, I know that I would likely be breastfeeding quite a bit, but I'd be away from my baby and need a solid pump that I could trust my milk supply with. So I don't like doing this, but you deserve it if you're still here, okay? Here's my top choices for me, okay? For me, take that into account. I really like the Spectra Synergy Gold. If I were gonna be pumping and could be stuck to a wall outlet, this is an option I would likely use. For a portable pump, no surprise, I really, really like the Genie Advanced. I'd probably even do it with the Liquid Shield kit that it comes with because I really like how that feels as well. Although, super happy about the updates they made on the Baby Buddha 2.0. This would be a real contender for me just because it is so small and tiny and it has a little bit more normal mode now. So those would be probably high on my list. For wearable pumps, I picked up the Willow Go. I think that's probably like a standard I would like, but if I were gonna start lactating again tomorrow, I would definitely try this Eufy pump. For me, I know the warmth would make a really big difference for me. I know I would get more milk, and I tended to struggle a little bit with vasospasms with Raynaud syndrome, so that warmth I think would be a huge game changer for me. I like the different modes that it offers, but particularly that heating feature, it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's still new, so we're still kind of learning more about this pump and how users respond to it, but I would probably give this a try personally. There's a couple others that I would maybe try only just because I have them. The Amita Pearl, I would really try that one. I think it's potentially another underrated pump there. The LV, I would give another try too, just because I like the gentle suction. That one can be a little bit trickier if you're switching between different pumps there just because the suction is so different and the letdown is a trained reflex. So that can be a little bit tricky, but definitely one that would be on my list. The Art of Alyssa, I would probably try a little bit too. Medela Symphony, I really like that one as well. It has a totally different flange kit setup, so that would be kind of annoying, where the other ones I could probably use a lot of the parts interchangeably, which would be nice. I actually just did a video on the Medela Symphony talking about, do you need a hospital style pump like that, or can you use, you know, a personal use pump and get the same result? So that would be an interesting video to check out too. Spectra 1, classic. I mean, that would definitely be on the list as well. A couple of interesting pumps from Similarly that I might test out, but probably none that I would stick with long term just because I have better options sitting over here. But those ones would be interesting. I would want to try them out and kind of see how they work in real life. The Zomi 2 is an interesting one too. I'd want to try out that alternating suction. I don't know, see what it was like. But there's kind of, you know, off the top of my head, the pumps that I would want to give a try. The Mini Bee pump, clear up on the top here, right here. I haven't actually tested that one and used it or played with it much, but it might be an interesting option. It's real popular in Australia. So that would be kind of a fun one to play with and explore too. I don't know. There's so many different pumps on the market. I know if you're looking for a pump, it's really easy to get overwhelmed and try and figure out like what is happening. And reviews change quickly. You know, if you're looking at reviews that even we did on our channel 2-3 years ago, 4 years ago, they might be outdated. Like these pumps make changes, they make updates. And it can be really hard to keep up on. Even for me, who lives in this space, I can tell you this January when we did a bunch of pump reviews, there were several that I published, and then this company made changes like the same week or the week before, and I just hadn't noticed. And like this happens frequently. So make sure that any reviews you're watching are current. You know, they're as recent as possible. We'll try and keep them up to date on our channel here as well. Or that you have, you know, some reliable sources. Our Facebook group is a really fun place to go hang out and talk about pumps if you like that kind of thing. That's the whole point of the group, is pump reviews, especially for working moms. That's kind of who we focus in, at least in our coaching program. So that's who a lot of our content on the YouTube channel and everywhere is focused on, because that's who I love. I went back to work and it was hard. And pumping really held me back from meeting my breastfeeding goals and really just made that year of my life challenging. And so that's kind of what I'm striving to help other moms do. You know, we have a lot of pumps here. Me and my team have been in this pumping space for a lot of years, really focusing in on this part of lactation, right? And over the years, I've really developed a lot of skills and training as a life coach. And so I really love being able to marry those together and being able to help particularly working moms, especially if you have, you know, you're a high level, high achieving, career driven woman and you're like, yeah, I want to do this, but I'm also used to achieving a lot in my personal life. Those are kind of the ones that I love working with. I think probably because they resonate so closely to my own story. You know what I mean? So if that's you, again, there's an application down below. You can schedule a call with my team and come work with me long term. But I hope that was kind of fun to look at some breast pumps. I know there's some that I missed. Again, I'll try and keep the description up to date. I'll try and post some shorts here if we have more information to share. And I hope to see you back on the channel, because this is what we talk about all day long. If you feel like I missed one, or if you feel like I didn't give enough credit to a pump that you have loved and really enjoyed, please put it in the comments for me. I would love to chat with you, and I hope you enjoyed just kind of hearing me talk a little freely about breast pumps, especially. I just figured, like, we have so many breast pumps. Oh, look at the Annabella. Have you guys seen this one? 2 seconds, I have to show you. If we're talking about unique features, I can't not show you this one. Look at this tongue movement. You ready? Whoa! That's pretty crazy, huh? So it's sucking like a regular pump, and there's this little tongue going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Can you see that? When we were talking about unique features, that would be a unique one. Probably not one that I would try. I loaned it out to a few testers, and they said it was a lot going on. I don't think I would personally like all that sensory stuff, but really unique. I love seeing new innovations in the breast pump world, and I hope we continue to see that. We'll approach it, you know, cautiously until they're proven to work well, but a lot of these pumps can do what you need. So there's a free quiz down below if you're still looking to choose a breast pump. It'll walk you through like what you need, what type of pump you need, and then also give you some of our top recommendations since we've played with so many. Okay, so fun. I'm glad you're still here, and I wish you the best of luck in your pumping experience. Happy pumping.